What's up YouTube, Capital G here looking at a brand new card from COTD the Duelist, and this is the Supreme King Servant Dragon Clearwing. This confirms to me pretty much that COTD the Duelist is going to have all the Servant Dragons. If you guys don't know, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V anime had its series finale. It is officially over, so Konami basically has to wrap up all the support, and it appears that it's all going to basically be, and it's going to be in COTD the Duelist because like there's a little bit of DDD support in there. Obviously, you've got some new cards when it comes to like the Servant Dragons, and then that's probably going to be it. We're not going to be seeing any more cards because this is obviously the start of the Vrains era. It's a little weird for me to see a Clearwing card that actually has Dark Attribute, because you guys know that Clearwing Synchro Dragon was the only dimensional dragon not to be dark. He was Wind Attribute, and Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon was Wind, so it's a little weird me seeing this Dark Attribute up there, but it does make sense because obviously he is the servant of the Supreme Ruler Zark, and you know everything associated with Zark is obviously Dark Attribute, so it's a little weird, but it does perfectly make sense. So let's see what this guy is and what he does. He's a level 8 Dart Dragon Synchro Effect monster. Okay, 2500 attack, 2000 defense. I'm pretty sure that those stats are taken directly from Clearwing Synchro Dragon. His synchro materials are 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner Dart Pendulum monsters. Effect number 1. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. Okay, and I'm not going to hate on Lightning Vortex. It's not bad. Effect number 2, once per turn before damage calculation, when this card battles, you can destroy that opponent's monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. Damn, that's before damage calculation. That means this guy can just ram into anything, even if it has a higher attack than it, and you basically get the like Ring of Destruction effect on it, or I guess I like to call it the Volcasaurus effect. That is really, really good. Effect number 3, if this card is in your graveyard, you contribute 2 Supreme King Servant Dragon monsters. Special summon this card from the graveyard. That's not bad. I mean, it honestly, I've looked up the Supreme King Servant Dragon monsters. I wouldn't be willing to give up 2 of them to summon the Clearwing back unless it was going to basically net me game. But it is nice that you can, because you never know. Like I'm never gonna hate on a card because it has a bonus effect. Like you never know when that's going to be useful. I will say this though. If you summon it back from effect number 3, you won't get effect number 1 because that's not considered synchro summon at this point. Now, I do like this card. I think that this card is actually super easy to make as long as you're running Pendulum Magicians. I mean, I guess that maybe you could figure out a way to summon it in DDD, but it might be a little more difficult. Oh no, actually no, it should be pretty easy to summon in DDD. DDD go into level 8 synchros pretty easily, and like the entire deck is dark. But if you're running Tune Magician and Tuning Magician, it should be no problem for you to be able to bring this out in Pendulum Magicians. I mean, you can combine a Tuning Magician plus an Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. There's your 1 and your 8, or you can just activate Tune Magician's effect. She'll special summon out like a level 4 Pendulum Magician, and obviously she's a tuner. You can go right into this guy. I think that this is a much more offensive version of Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Like Clearwing Synchro Dragon, to me, I like the fact that it did have the protection. Like if your opponent tried to Dryden it, obviously he could negate the effect because it's a card that's trying to target him, and you know that is definitely really nice. And if he used his effect to like blow up a monster that was big, like a Dark Arm Dragon or something, he would gain that attack. This guy doesn't really offer you any protection, but he does offer you the ability to come back from the graveyard. I think that this is just a more offensive version of Clearwing Synchro Dragon. In fact, it seems like all the Servant Dragons are completely offensive focused. I mean, I think I have to like this card because it's very easy to summon. I mean, if you're playing DDD, I consider running at least 1 copy. It depends on how tight your extra deck is, but DDD can definitely summon this. Pendulum Magicians are going to summon this. Like, it's just that easy. I think they'll obviously run 1 copy of it, and I do like the fact that it can attack into bigger things. Like I like that. I like being able to do that what's it called, that damage on big monsters. Although the second effect and the first effect don't correlate that well together, to be honest. Like you guys might wonder what I'm talking about. What I mean is, let's say your opponent has 2 monsters on the field, right? If you synchro summon this guy, you blow those 2 monsters on the field up as long as they're face up on the field. So that means that if they don't have any monsters, you won't be able to use the second effect. So, I mean, the second effect and the first effect don't really work together, but I still think that collectively you have a pretty decent card here because it's really easy to make. It's kind of crazy that these Servant Dragons are actually very, very easy to make. I thought they'd be kind of difficult, but maybe Konami is like, look, it's the end of the Arc V era. We're not going to release a bunch of cards that no one can fucking make. So let me know what you guys think. I think the artwork on the card is pretty sick. Whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, as always.